everyone, what is up and welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Liz, and today for Spooktober's episode, we're going to be talking about 10 urban legends. This is part 1, so we're going to talk about 5, and in our next part we'll talk about the remaining 5. I hope you guys are excited. Also, if you are new, for the month of Spooktober, I am bringing back Creating Crime Time, where I'm creating something while I'm talking about these lovely crime stories. But obviously, we're talking about urban legends today, so let's get into it. First one up is the Bunny Man. So, per this legend, in 1904, a bus had crashed while they were bringing patients to another facility in Fairfax County, Virginia. And it crashed. Well, some inmates kind of escaped. All but one was captured. Now, the weird part of this crash is that where the bus crashed, there was dead bunnies appearing, and some were found hanging from the Fairfax Station bridge. Now, none of this can be corroborated or proven true because there was no asylum where the patients were going to be brought in Fairfax in 1904. There was nothing. There's no proof of anything being there. But what is true is this. So in 1970, a set of scary and strange incidents happened. And it happened in the area where a man was dressed as none other than a bunny. One incident, a young couple was just on a leisurely drive when a man in a white bunny suit hurled an axe at the car, specifically at them. Now, it didn't hurt either of them. The axe was just in the windshield. 2 weeks later, there was a man in a bunny suit that was seen chopping up a porch of a newly constructed home. But when the police arrived, he was gone, and he was never apprehended. And oddly enough, the Fairfax Bridge in Fairfax County, Virginia, is now named the Bunny Man Bridge. The Dog Boy. So, in this legend, there's talks of a werewolf-like dog man that's seen roaming around Quitman, Arkansas. And this is kind of like a very embellished story, but ultimately it's kind of true. So, Gerald Bettis, he was born in 1954. He was known to be cruel and very sadistic, and he liked capturing and torturing animals for fun. As he grew, he also went more mad. The Bettis family home would be surrounded by mystery, mostly because Gerald's father died in 1981. Some believed there was foul play, and some believed that it was just illness as to why he died. But to make things worse, Gerald held his mother captive. Yeah, he held her captive in their home for a long time. Well, that was until Adult Protective Services was informed and she was put into protective custody. She even went on to testify against her son in court before he was sentenced to time in prison. He would ultimately die in prison as well, and per the legend, some people believe that he walks on all fours and he has an appearance of like a shaggy dog. Strange, right? Meanwhile, there are some other accounts where he appears to wear a brown jacket and a bow tie and is extremely tall. It's also kind of speculated that they think he haunts his childhood home to this day. Interesting. The Puebla Tunnels. Now, for years in Puebla City, people heard tales of these tunnels that were, underneath the city. But none of them were ever found. So, most people just kind of thought it was, okay, maybe they're there, maybe they're not. This is a legend. That was until a construction crew dug down and found a very real tunnel in 2015. Excavation began, and it was discovered that there was 6 miles of tunnels that ran under the streets of Puebla. During the excavation as well, it was discovered that these were constructed based on what they saw. These were constructed starting in the 16th century and ended somewhere near the 19th century. And as of today, this is a current, attraction that people can walk through. And they can enjoy, even though it's highly terrifying and creepy, apparently. The Alice Killings. So this is one of the most notable and new urban legends for Japan. Now, the legend follows that there's a span of killings from 1999 to 2005, and that there was no indication that any victim knew each other or they seemed unrelated in some way. But the only kind of relation, which I know this is kind of a contradiction to being unrelated, but there was a simple playing card that was found around the body, and on the playing card, in the victim's blood, was the word Alice. This is an urban legend that was unsubstantiated, mainly because these murders are known on the internet, but it wasn't in Japan. Oh no. The truth of this urban legend is that it's a real serial killer, but this, my friends, this happened in Spain. Alfredo Galan is known as the playing card killer, and his crime spree started and only lasted it wasn't very long. It was from January 4th, 2003 to March 18th, 2003, and he was sentenced to 142 years in prison. So yes, the Alice killings is actually the playing card killer, Cropsey. A lot of people have heard of Cropsey. This is an urban legend that almost everybody knows about. The legend has it is that Cropsey lurks behind an abandoned school, which is the Willowbrook State School for children, which most people have seen on documentaries about Cropsey, and a lot of people are terrified of this area. Well, in some versions of the tale, he's an axe-wielding murderer, while others say that he is a monstrous boogeyman. But in all tales, he is a creeper that's lurking and looking for children that he can kill. Both are very sad and true. Andre Rand is a real-life creep, or creeper, that was a janitor at the none other than Willowbrook State School for children. And he lived on the grounds even after the school was closed in 1987. He is suspected to be responsible for many disappearing children, but this hasn't fully been proven that it's him they think is responsible. He was found guilty of kidnapping in 1988 and in 2004, but he hasn't been tied to any of the other missing children's cases. There has been multiple documentaries, like I mentioned, that's been made about Cropsey, and there's a lot of speculation when it comes to this urban legend, even though it is true. So that, my friends, is the first 5 of our 10 urban legends. Stay tuned, because you'll see part 2 tomorrow. Bye, guys!